Hey, welcome artists and art fans. Thank you guys for tuning into the spot where we talk to your favorite Instagram artists about their trade, their tools, and their tips. I'm your host, Zim Zimmer, and you guys are on chatting with Zim. Just a little quick update. I had Concept.lt supposed to join us earlier today, and he actually, I think, had something to do, but we definitely had to reschedule. And last minute, we are joined by awesome artist that I'm about to introduce. But before we get that popping, before he comes into live, quick time for a little shout outs. So, shout out to Respect the Artist, respect that artist. Make sure you guys are following them and tuning in. They also do. They showcase artists as well, so big shout out to them. Shout out to the crew, Dead and Laughing. Two awesome guys, my boy Crude Creations and Call Me Dreads. Uh, Definitely have their own little show as well. Make sure you guys are definitely tuning in and checking that out. And a big shout out to my boy Seven is Life. He has a show called Live with Seven Show and Tell. Great show. Also again supporting artists and the artist community. That being said, we looks like the man, the myth, the legend, Sheldon Art is in the house. Make sure you guys follow him here. He's also on Twitter under the same name, Sheldon Art, and on Coffee. Something I haven't heard about, ko-fi.com. Make sure you guys find him there, /Sheldon Art. So let's go ahead and get him on the show. This is going to be our first time. Shout out to everybody for joining in. Toy Turd, Respect the Artist is in
Cool.
here.
Hi there.
Ivan, Sketching
Hi.
the Beast. Thank you guys for joining. Sheldon, what's up, bro?
How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Man, dude, I owe you. I owe you big time, bro.
No, no
I,
problem.
yeah, dude, I usually like to promote the artist and, just do my research on you guys before you guys hop on.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey, let me go ahead and ask him. Maybe he's down since I know you're gonna go back and
Yeah.
teach and be part of school. So we'll get into that, man. But
Yeah.
dude,
Oh,
thanks again, dude. Awesome. Um, just a quick little update, a little fun fact. I just met him today. I met you, dude, because of these ads that are going on,
yeah.
the sponsorship ads. And dude, dig your work. Big Power
Thank you.
Ranger fan myself. So
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
man,
Yeah.
I gotta get him on, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Not a problem, brother. So I mean, if you haven't heard about the show, it's just pretty much you, me, and a couple of our thousand closest friends here listening in,
Not
tuning
bad.
in. You know,
Yeah.
so if you got skeletons in the closet, it's always welcome.
I don't think an hour is enough time to get into
Oh no,
that.
not at all, man, not at all. But thanks again, bro.
So,
You
yeah,
know,
no problem.
and thanks again, you guys, viewers, for tuning in. Once again, make sure you guys are following his work. Let me go ahead and pin you up here at the bottom so people could go ahead and tap on that and check out your work, bro.
Absolutely.
Oh man, I messed that one up. Let's see.
That's okay.
Hold on. No, no. Let's do this right. All right, here we go. Double check on the spelling. There we go. And there you go. You see my background.
Oh,
All
nice.
right. There we go. Let's go ahead and pin that comment. All right, man. Bobby. How
Yes.
do you want me to call you, man? You want me to call you Bob, Bobby, Sheldon?
Bobby's
What's up?
fine. Yeah,
Bobby's
Bobby's
fine.
fine. Yeah.
Bobby, it is, brother. So thanks again, once again.
Hmm.
Thank you for joining, and let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes, man.
Yeah. What do
Uh,
you want to know?
First, I want to know what I want to know about every artist, man. How do you get into this, man? What sets you
Oh
off on
man.
this art path?
Oh man, I guess I have like the usual answer. It started back in high school. I wanted to get into art, but I didn't know what I wanted per se. I still am kind of trying to follow a path. I don't know specifically where I want to go just yet, but I know I'm narrowing the gap. And right now, well, look, like going back to the beginning there, I wanted to get into like character design. I wanted to get into like game design. Obviously I like video games, so I was like, well, oh man, maybe I can make some characters for some games. That'd be awesome, you know. And
Dope.
so I started looking into like Full Sail in Florida, like going there and learning like character design, animation, that kind of stuff. That kind of went by the wayside towards like junior high into senior year in high school. I was like, well, you know what, that might not be the best approach. What else do I want to go into? And I actually decided to go into art education. So I
Mm.
wanted to actually teach students how to do stuff, and it's been very fulfilling. I love it. I think it's awesome. I've had amazing success in teaching the kids, and just getting that one-on-one experience with some of these kids that actually
Sure.
need the help emotionally, or kids that actually need the help artistically, that just can't get quite to that next level. I like to push them forward to that next level. So it's been fun. It's been educational for myself, but also very fulfilling. And but I kind of want to take that next step in my process here. So I took a hiatus from my own work for about 10 years.
Mm.
I've been a teacher for about 7 years now, and I just was like, you know what, I want to get back into it. So February of this year, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go all in. With all this stuff that's been going on, I figured this is a perfect opportunity for me to work on my hobbies. And what better approach than to start fresh and try to get into it more. So since February, I've been doing art pretty much full time at home.
Oh
Uh,
man, nice.
8 hours at work and then 8 hours at home until like 2 o'clock in the morning, and starting all
Grinding
over
it.
again.
Yeah, grinding it out. That's what I'm talking about, dude. You know? That's
So
usually yeah, that's usually one of the biggest hurdles, is or something that I like to share with everybody else is that we're all busy, man. We all got
yeah,
lives, we got kids, families.
yeah,
So it's like how do you it's all time management. You
mhm,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So definitely. So I mean, you gave us a lot to chew here, bro.
Sorry, yeah, I do that a
No, no,
lot.
you're good, man. You're good. There's a lot to find out about you, brother. That's what the
Yeah.
show's about. Uh, so you said you've been a teacher for 7 years. I don't know if I missed it, but what age bracket do you teach?
Oh yeah, I teach. Well, my first year I taught ninth through 12th grade.
Oh,
That was
okay.
an experience. I was what 22, 23, teaching 18-year-olds, so that was fun. Only 4 year difference between us. So um,
That's funny.
I tell them to do something, and they tell me to go to hell. So that was kind of fun. Um, so then that taught me to grow a nice beard out. Then maybe I look a little bit older.
There
Um,
you go.
but then after that, I taught fifth and sixth grade for a year, and then the building that I was in for fifth and sixth grade, or it's actually a 5 through 8 building.
Okay.
They switched to a seventh and eighth grade building, so I then became a full-fledged seventh grade art teacher for the past 4 years now.
Nice.
Hmm.
That's dope. That's very dope.
Yeah,
And you mentioned you were very young teaching 18-year-olds. I picture the Catch Me If You Can scene where Leonardo DiCaprio. You know what I'm
yeah,
talking about.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh
awesome,
yeah.
awesome, man. I gotta rewatch that.
That is a good movie. I like that movie.
So, you said you started in high school as
Mhm.
opposed to drawing yourself, man. And what actually opened your world up, opened your eyes to something like this? I mean, was it, for example, was it comic books, cartoons, a parent?
It was. I always gravitated to art. I just never was really sure of why. Um, it just kind of was a thing that I did. I would just open up a sketchbook and start doodling. You ask my parents, they're like, every time we had to go into like an office supply store or like a Walmart, he always had to leave with like a notebook or a sketchbook. Like even if he didn't like fill
Yes.
in the other ones that he's had, he's always needed like a sketchbook or something. Like literally, I have like
Yes.
I have 5 of these sketchbooks like filled, like just random drawings and stuff. So that's what I did for a long time, and never really knew what I wanted until about eighth grade. My best friend at the time was like, you're kind of good at art. And I'm like, you're right. You know what? You're right. I am good at art. I should probably do something with that. So
Cool. Dope. Dope. Yeah, I like that, man. That's you sound. It sounds almost like my little girl. You know, she always has to leave with something coming out of the storm,
I
man.
know, right? Yeah.
Always, you know. But that, gotta love the kids. No,
Oh,
that's pretty dope, man. That's fascinating. I usually the most answer is either comics or cartoons. Is usually what got you know
mm,
got us into it.
yeah. Comics usually for me. I actually went into more of the video game realm of things. It's like I love the character design of like the Final Fantasy games. I thought those
Hmm.
were always awesome, and I kind of gravitated towards drawing those types of characters and things like that. So, yeah, video games for me definitely. I would say.
Sweet. Is that something you still open to do, man? Maybe in somewhere in the future.
I'm gravitating more towards, and you can probably see it in my drawings. I'm gravitating more towards illustration, like comic book style stuff.
Mm,
That's like my wheelhouse. I love doing that kind of stuff.
for sure. And just so you guys could get a closer look at some of his work.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there you go. So this these bad Bama Jammas is what got me to your page, and I'm like, oh, it's a Power
that's
Ranger.
awesome.
Let me check it out.
That's
And
awesome. I actually just got in some Power Rangers prints here. I got Green Ranger. Right, 1 second.
oh, dude,
I
that looks dope.
gotta, gotta plug this in real quick.
No, you're
There we
fine.
go.
You're fine.
Yeah, I got Green Ranger just came in. I got some Red Ranger action right there.
Dude, love those highlights, bro. Looks
Oh
sick.
man, those highlights are literally my favorite part of doing them. Like once I get the outlines done, just Trini for you guys. Once I get the outlines done, I'm just like I have to get into color. I have to get into those highlights. So
For sure, man. We definitely need a like all button here on Instagram.
I know, right? There's a few
You hear
pages
that?
on. Man, these are pretty cool. I want to.
Yeah, yeah. No, for sure, man. You hearing this, Instagram? We need it. Like all
That's
button.
right. That's right.
Man, and now as far as when you teach when you're teaching, back to your teaching, man. This is
Mhm.
interesting. You're the second teacher I think I had on here.
Oh,
The
cool.
talented Mr. D. A few episodes back, well, he's also an art teacher.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
Awesome. So I'm gonna ask you, man. I mean, is there anything that has changed as far as the what you're teaching your students? Or as opposed to like your 9 to 12, opposed to
Oh,
the
yes.
seventh graders and stuff. Yeah.
So, seventh grade is a tough age. Fifth and sixth grade, when I taught them, they were very malleable.
Mm,
I could mold them how I see fit. Seventh grade is a little bit different. Seventh grade is like you're not the boss of me. Like go to hell. Like you don't know what you're talking about, man. And I'm kind of like I'm the kind of teacher where it's like I'll tell you, and if you tell
mm.
me that, I'm gonna laugh in your face, that kind of thing. Because why not? You know.
Yeah.
So I'm all about respect, and it's like that at that age. It's kind of like more 80% teaching respect, 20% teaching art, that kind of thing.
Mm,
Um, but when I do get into art, when I do teach, it's mainly the basics. So in my district, the kids are just starting to learn, like, hey, I can do other things than just abstract art with art. Like I can do, I can use other things besides um, acrylic paint and colored pencils to create art. There are those few unique kids that know that already, but then you
mm.
get the ones that are like, what are chalk pastels? I have no idea what those are. What are watercolors? I've never used those before. Um, my seventh grade class is more learning the basics and learning techniques. So,
Okay.
but yeah,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
yeah,
I mean, seventh grade. I mean, that's not a bad age bracket to be learning techniques like that. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Now when it comes to teaching, is that something that do you design your teaching plan, or is this
Mhm.
something? Yeah, you do. Okay, cool.
Mhm. Yeah, it's interesting. The I'm very lucky. The district that I'm in, they're like, look, we don't care what you teach, just make sure you follow the state standards that you
Mm-hmm.
need, and that's it. So I'm very fortunate in that regard where I can teach what I want to teach. The only limitations there are is, of course, budget. Like, do I have enough
Mm-hmm.
money to get this thing? I need a 3D printer. Do I have enough money to spend $200 to get a new 3D printer? Um, that I ran into that issue like 2 years ago. Um, it's just you start to notice like little things that hinder you. So it's not a sense of creativity in terms of lesson plans. It's, man, I wish I could do this, but I don't have the time or I don't have the funding to do it.
Got
So
it.
yeah,
Cool, cool. And that's it. That's a little bit about art teaching life, ladies
yeah,
and gentlemen.
yeah.
You know, that's pretty cool. That's definitely dope, man. So kudos to you, man. Getting
Thank you.
paid for something you love to do,
Yeah,
and it's a win-win all around. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Now let's get into a little bit more about your art, man, and your
Sure.
art life. Is this something you went to school for or self-taught?
I want to say it was mostly schooling that got me to
Okay.
this point. I do want to say, though, I want to preface by you do not have to go to school to be good at art. Um, you, what I got is the fundamentals of art from school. So after 4 years of being in school, I want to say what has gotten me to the point that I'm at right now is about 30% college education, 70% me.
Mm,
So you put forth the time and the effort, you're going to go anywhere you want. And that just proves, like I told you before, I mean, 8 hour days at work, 8 hour days at home. My best friend and I were talking the one day, and he's like, how many hours did you actually work on art throughout this entire like COVID like situation?
hmm.
And I factored it out, and I probably have a close to 900 hours
Oh
of
wow,
working on myself and my craft. So
there you go. There you go. They say that it takes 10,000 hours of doing the same thing, right? To become a pro
yeah,
or something at it. So
yeah,
you're getting there,
I
man.
got a long way to go, man.
No, that's definitely dope, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, as far as your style goes,
Mhm.
anybody that you know what? Actually, before we get into that, let's go ahead and tell our viewers where we could find you besides what I mentioned at the top of the hour. So you
Oh
got
yeah,
Instagram, we have
yes.
Twitter at
Mhm.
Sheldon Art,
Mhm.
and we have something called Coffee or
I
Kofi.
believe it is called that. Yeah, it's mainly like a tipping website. If you want to give something, for my art or whatever, that's cool. Um, but that's nothing really major. I don't like to push that too much because it's like I don't want to feel
Mm,
like I'm begging people for stuff. But if you want to, it's cool. You can do that. But yeah, usually Instagram is my big one right now. I have a private Facebook account that I'm kind of promoting my work through that as well, but it's not really publicized too much. I am going to start an Etsy account shortly. I do have an Etsy account actually started, but I would like to get all my stuff onto there. I'm actually in the process of doing that now, so probably within about next 2-3 weeks I should have it up and running. Um,
sweet.
so I will eventually have a Patreon as well. It's going to be teaching the basics of art. So it's basically taking what I teach my seventh grade kids
Hmm.
and applying that into my Patreon. So kind of like a mentorship program for anybody that's just starting out. Um, but yeah, so I'm just
Show,
seeing now. Notorious Pez in here. It's my buddy
show.
Omar. He's like, show him the goods.
No, definitely. And speaking, shout out to Notorious Pez. He actually is joining as well next month.
Nice.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
looking forward. I saw you guys. I checked out your live while I was working.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, and
Yeah, those of you
I'm
in the chat right now, he is a phenomenal artist. I highly recommend checking him out. He's doing great things, honestly. He really
oh
is.
for sure. Shout out Notorious underscore Pez, guys. Check him out and keep your eyes here on chatting with Zim. We're gonna definitely have him on. And also I just want to extend that invitation again. If you're down to come in September, uh, if you want to come back, I'm
Sure.
perfectly fine with it. I usually have this rule, which is a 30-day rule.
Mhm.
Before I have my next guest, but since you helped me out, get that nice perk in there.
Yeah,
Definitely, man. And
yeah, I
I'm
wouldn't
pretty
mind.
sure, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm pretty sure an hour is not going to be enough for us. I could tell right off the bat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I do like to carry a conversation on.
No, cool. And I'm seeing the Batman, so I gotta
Oh
ask
yeah,
right
yeah.
now. I gotta ask. I think I know the answer, but DC or Marvel?
Oh gosh. If I had to go DC, it's Batman all the way. It's
Or
Batman for me is my idol when it comes to DC. I grew up Marvel, but I honestly I don't have a preference. I do gravitate to Marvel just because I know the characters a little bit more. Um, but when it comes to story and just overall like grittiness, I think DC has it down.
cool. Well, that was our interview. Thank you guys for joining. I'm joking,
Done.
man. I'm right there with you, man. I'm 50-50, but if I had to do 51-49, I think
Yeah,
Marvel will get it.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just because I grew up more with Marvel when I was younger than
Oh,
DC, you know?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Cool, cool, cool. So, favorite medium to use, man? I see that you do a lot of digital work.
I do, I
Um,
do.
I,
I grew up honestly using a lot of traditional. I mean, I'm a '90s kid. I didn't have a lot of technology back then. I think I had the giant tower that
mm,
had Windows 94 on it or whatever it was for a PC. So I didn't really have anything too crazy. But when it comes to artwork, it's always been traditional up until this year. I've been doing a lot of color pencil work. Um, I do have a few over here actually. So these were back in like February. I did some portraits and I got them framed. This is colored
wow.
pencil right here.
Wows.
Yeah. So this one here, I actually was playing around with skin tones, so you can
Mhm.
tell it's more of like a purplish blue skin tone to match the blue hair. So um, another one, and I don't really show these too often because me personally, I'm a critic of my own art, so I feel
Uh,
like they
aren't,
really
aren't
don't do it
aren't
justice.
we all, dude? Aren't we all?
But I did this the Joker when it first came out.
Yes.
It was like one that I really enjoyed working with, especially like the mouth area. I think the blending turned out pretty cool. Um, and I did the other Joker. It's over there. Sadly, it's all zipped up right now. Um, oh, and I did do some graphite.
Wow,
Graph.
indeed. There you go.
So this is all just regular pencil graphite.
Yeah,
Just
that's
did it.
something that's a medium I never use, man. But you
Oh
did
yeah.
you knocked it out the park, though.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. But ever since, like I said, February I was working on these here until March, end of March, and then beginning of April I got my iPad, and it's been digital ever since.
Hmm.
So, in fact, I can probably show if you want. I could show a little bit of my digital art as well.
Actually, yeah, let's wait a few minutes. I usually
Sure.
have a segment called Josh's Tools here,
Oh yeah,
where
yeah,
we talk about the tools of the
yeah.
artist, and you usually share your horror stories or some of your awesome
Oh,
stories that you have, and yeah, we'll definitely get into that, man.
okay.
There's always time for that.
All right.
Uh, be any current projects besides setting up your Etsy and stuff like that, as far as art itself?
Uh, Not unless it's doing the Power Ranger series that I'm working on right
Mm.
now. I'm doing pretty much going through all of the um, series of Power Rangers and doing all the helmets from them. So I'm going to take like the top 10 series of all time and kind of working on those. The Mighty Morphin series, the first one was my personal favorite, just because I grew up with that, and so nostalgia reasons I had to do that one first. But other than that, I'm going to go through and check off a list of like the top 10 seasons and kind of go through and make profiles of those. But other than that, it's just I'm kind of gearing my art class at school right now, just kind of getting everything prepped for that. So we've pushed the date back to September, which I told you about.
Hmm.
Uh, September 14th we start up school, so it's like spending these last 3 weeks here just kind of getting things prepped for that. But
Cool. Sweet.
yeah,
Sounds good.
yeah,
Um, Now as far as your current project with the Power Rangers, I'm
yeah.
gonna go ahead and give you do Lord Draken. That's
I already did.
oh what man,
Hey,
dude.
this
I'm
chat, I'm gonna give you a sneak peek at it.
dude. We always love exclusives. You guys saw it here first.
Hold on 1 second. Let
Saw
me
it
get
here
it.
first. I'm excited, dude.
Let me get it all prepped for you.
And it's just what you're doing with the helmets itself is oh dude, that's sick, dude. Holy crap. That's awesome. You know what? Before we get into the tool segment, bro, let's talk about commissions. And
Oh yeah.
do you accept commissions? Do you do commission work?
You know what, I do. If somebody really wants something really bad, I will do it right now. But as far as right now is concerned, it's getting really close to teaching time, and
Hmm.
I'm afraid to take up commissions and then be like, hey, I got to push this back a month. I'm sorry. Like I don't want to do that to somebody. Um, but I mean, if somebody's willing to work with me a little bit, I mean, I'd be open to it. Absolutely.
Sweet, sweet. So it's nothing that's out of your mind frame, right?
I don't think so. No. I
Okay,
mean,
cool.
I'm open to it.
Sweet, that's good to know, man. Especially for the viewers out there, the ones
Absolutely.
viewing now and in the future, man. I mean, your work is it's amazing. It's great work.
Thank you. Thank you. I
So,
appreciate it.
um, and that's another thing that we like to do here is we just want to talk about tips and as far as
Huh?
like commission. One of the biggest things that artists have is how to price their work.
Yes.
Is there anything that you could any type of tips that you could give out to artists as far as how to price it? You know?
Um, sure. One rule that I go by, and I was a part of, or I still am a part of Dominic Glover's mentorship program. Dominic Glover, he's a Marvel comic book artist,
Mm,
fantastic, wonderful person. I talk to him all the time. He's great. And one of the things because that was the thing that I had going for me, like I didn't know how to price my work. Um, and the one thing that he stressed was you kind of take your hourly rate. Um, how was it? I'm trying to think of the pricing situation. Um, so basically, you take your skill set, how many years you've actually been doing your artwork. So for me, I've been doing it for say minus 10 years, let's say 15 years now, developing my art, getting it to where it is right now. So times every year by $3, and then that could be like a framework of like maybe how to price per hour. That's like a rough way to do it. Another way to do it is if you actually go onto ZipRecruiter.com right now and look
mm,
up artists, you can see that the average artist is being paid about $30 an hour. So you kind of put that towards your commissions. It's like, okay, well, if it's going to take you 8 hours to do, um, if you're justified in saying that it's $30 an hour for you, you have to be honest, because that's kind of the thing too, where it's like if you feel as though your stuff isn't up to par with like a lot of other people out there, and you're going to be charging $30 an hour, somebody might be like, you know what, for what I'm seeing here and for your price, it's really not matching up for me. And that's for the actual person that's wanting the commission. That might not be for everybody.
mm.
Um, but when it comes to pricing your art, it does get a little iffy. I want to say those are probably your best bets is to do that. ZipRecruiter for me, I'm doing that now because I feel like me personally, my artwork is up to a point where I feel comfortable in charging that amount. Um, but that's only for commissions. When it comes to prints, um, I typically do, I think my prints are like, depending on the hours I put in, 15 to 20 hours, or
Oh,
15
okay.
to $20. I'm sorry, 15 to $20 for a print. Um, and it just depends on what you're doing. If you have a print that you worked on for 40 hours, it might not be justified to only charge $15 for it. It's kind of a toss up. And actually,
Right.
Dominic Glover is in the chat right now, so that's awesome.
Shout out to the
Welcome.
Dominic Glover. Shout
Check
out.
him out. He is fantastic at what he does.
Definitely, definitely will. Definitely. Yes, sir, man, and thanks again for all the little tips that you're
Mm.
helping. I mean, hopefully, all you artists out there are taking notes, and because this is something that within the community, it's a question that's brought up all the time.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. So it's great, just getting different perspectives or different tips from different artists. And you know what? We're at about that half point. So let's go ahead and let's get into Josh's tools. This is part of the show where we check out our guest tools and see what they're working with, see what they recommend or what they don't recommend. And
Nice.
yeah, yeah, definitely, man. So I know you do digital and you also do traditional.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and do digital since you have it right there in front of you first.
Yeah.
Let's tell us what you're working with, what apps you're using.
Okay.
If there's any apps you tried and probably don't recommend, that's
Yeah. I let me see here. Let me see if I can move this around a little bit.
go for it.
There we go.
And
Okay. So, all right. So this right here is iPad Pro. This right here is the 2020 model that came out a few months ago. Oh, I got the Power Rangers logo on there. But yeah, I got the 2020 model just because I didn't have an iPad before, and I figured, you know what, I might as well just get the newest version of it. My recommendation is you don't really need the 2020 model. You can actually go
Mhm.
with the 2018 model. It's going to be a lot cheaper for you, and the Apple Pencil 2 works with the 2018 model. This year is the 2018, or I'm sorry, not 2018, the Apple Pencil 2. I have a skin on it, so that's why it looks like an actual pencil.
That looks
Uh,
cool.
thanks.
Yeah.
But I have the Apple Pencil 2. This works with the 2018 model of the iPad. So if you can go cheaper, like if you don't mind having a little bit of an older model, um, then I would say go with the 2018 iPad Pro and then get the Apple Pencil 2 for it. And you'll save yourself a ton of money.
Sweet. That's
So
that's
as
something
far
actually something I'm looking forward to doing, getting more into digital. So great stuff.
oh yeah, absolutely, and I fully recommend it. And even if you don't want to go the Apple iPad Pro route, you could go with the I forget what generation regular iPad is out there now. Is it like iPad 7? I can't remember. Um, but you can go with one of those too. The uh, the app that I use is Procreate. So right here, this kind of gives you an idea of kind of the gallery setup here. So this is the main gallery that all my stuff's on, and you can set up like little folders inside of here as well. Um, these are my portraits here. You guys have pretty much seen all these ones on my Instagram if you guys are on it. Um, but yeah, it really does a really wonderful job in setting up all these little folders for yourself, and so you can go through and say, okay, if I want a folder for portraits, hey, I got a folder for portraits now. Um, trying to think now, but it really does a nice job for organization. I kind of do multiples here. That's just me. I just do
Mhm.
multiples of things. Um, people will yell at me all the time. Why do you have so many of the same one? Listen, it's just my process. It's just what I do. I'm sorry.
Trust the
Uh,
process, guys.
trust
Trust it.
trust the process. It's fine. Um, but yeah, it does an awesome job. And let's see here. This is just let's see. This is one I was just working on just for fun. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
but
Batman.
yeah, but yeah, it really does an excellent job with pressure sensitivity, especially when you're working with the Apple Pencil.
Mhm.
So let me get like a dark color here. Brushes, there we go. So I'm going to zoom in on this little section here. So you can go like really thin lines, or you can get, depending on the pressure, you can get really thick lines. And you can do everything in between if you want to kind of work with something like this. So it's really nice. You're able to get a wide range of approaches when it comes to line work.
Sweet. Have you tried any other apps besides the Procreate?
Um, Not necessarily. I did my research before I even bought my iPad, and
Mm-hmm.
Procreate was the one that stood out the most. Um, there are other ones out there. For the life of me, I can't remember what they're called. I think I might
Um,
have.
yeah, one
I
of them
can't.
is like a sketch,
Is it SketchUp
sketch,
or something?
something like that. I know it has the word sketch,
Yeah.
and yeah, actually Procreate is pretty dope. I mean, before my daughter confiscated my iPad, I was working with Procreate, and
Yeah.
it's very easy, man. Easy. What is that word? User friendly.
User
So,
friendly,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
So just to give you some ideas here, this is me just doing some quick sketches, and this is the detail that I was able to get using Procreate. So like the blending and shading and outlining of things, getting the idea for anatomy, that kind of thing. So if some of you are out there trying to figure out, if it's worth it, I mean, this looks like an actual traditional sketch, and
Mhm.
it's just me doing some blending work with the app itself. So
Dope. And there's also a multitude of brushes as well for the toolkit. I know in
absolutely,
Procreate. So, for all you art fans out there looking to get into digital, there's definitely an array of brushes for you guys to go ahead and use.
absolutely. And to preface, or not to preface, but to go like piggyback on what you're saying there, all the drawings that I have been doing here, so all these Power Rangers ones that I've been working into. Let me get the red one up. So like all of these ones here that I've been working on, even my uh, digital Spider-Man series that I did, those are all using. If you guys want to go to his Instagram, it's called The Art of Wade King. It's his Instagram, and these are all of his brushes that he's created, and they are like literally smooth as butter. They are fantastic. I highly recommend them.
Sweet.
Yeah, The Art of Wade King. Not only is he an excellent artist, but he does have fantastic brushes.
Shout out to the Art of Wade King. Definitely go check that out for any digi artists out there.
Also, Dominic Glover has his own brushes as well. I have not tried those, but I've heard wonderful things about them. And I don't know how much they are. I want to say Wade's I know is $5. Like they're not expensive at all. Dominic's might be 10. I'm not quite sure, but they're pretty cheap as well.
No, and if I mean if you guys are artists, especially if you guys are traditional artists, $10 for a brush, for something that
I
especially going
mean,
digital, it's gonna last you forever. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
and $5 like and before I go on here, just to say, $5 got me literally all of these brushes right here. These are all the brushes that I can use inside of this thing. And I mean, there's blender brushes, there's texture brushes, there's hair brushes. I use this one exclusively, Sketch and Ink 2020. That's what I use.
Hmm.
Um, but even going on what you're saying there, I switched from using colored pencils. I went all the way to digital, and I was using Prismacolor colored pencils, and I was
Okay.
spending literally $25 a week on replacements because I kept going through them so much. And I bought what $5 worth of brushes, and I haven't had to spend a dime after that. So,
Sweet. Nah, man, Bobby, if you don't mind, let's see some of that traditional, man.
oh, sure.
Let's see your go-to traditional. What do you usually work
Go
with?
to traditional stuff. All right, let me see.
And
It's been
here's
a
a little. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I was gonna say it's been a while, but go ahead.
So, just out of the blue, out of left field, mechanical or wood pencil.
Ooh, bam, mechanical.
There it is.
Always go with mechanical. Me personally, I get the Graph Gear 1000 Pentel. This is my God. It is a fantastic, fantastic pencil. I love it. That's my go-to. For line work, I usually go with I usually go with a Sharpie. Um, I will say you have to be careful. This one says ultra fine point, and that is that type of point right there, this will break. This thing will
Hmm.
break off. If you want to get one, instead of the ultra fine, get what's known as the extra fine. That has more of a pen tip to it.
Okay, there you go. Great tip.
So, and I do use some micron pens as well for the line work to get into that. This one I love. It's like a kind of like a felt brush tip, like a cross between a felt and a brush tip. It's really nice. I like that one.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see. In terms of colored pencils, let me see here. I got a whole bunch here.
Now, you mentioned that you did Prisma. Something that I got to mention for all you artists out there is they usually a lot more waxy. The lead is so that's I think that gives you a great end result when it comes
Oh
to our
yeah,
pieces.
it's
Yeah.
it's not just to, and I don't mean it. I just to correct you. It's not waxy. It's more of like a there's more pigment inside of the Prismacolor
Okay,
one. The
that makes
like
sense.
the wax, and no, you're fine. You're fine. The wax is like the binder for colored pencils.
Mhm.
So like this right here, this is a Prismacolor. If I were to drop this on the floor, the entire inside of this would shatter. But if I used a Crayola, like this is a Crayola colored pencil here, if I were to drop this on the floor, it would not shatter. The tip would, but the inside probably wouldn't.
Mm.
Um, and that's just because of Crayola uses more binder in it than pigment, and then these ones here have more of the pigment than the binder.
Dope. Well, there you go. I learned something new today, guys.
Hey, this is the art teacher in me coming out. I apologize.
No need, bro. This is what the show's all about, man. Learning, learning and just sharing with others of the community. So
Heck yeah.
yeah, man.
So those are my go-tos. I do have some watercolors. I don't have my regular set with me, but I do have these here. So like watercolors, I typically work with a lot, um, and I don't really go crazy with the brushes. I just have like one singular brush that I use. Um, I'm trying to think here. I do have some watercolor over here. I could probably get that out real quick, just to show you guys what I did.
Sweet.
So move this out of the way. This is a watercolor that I've done. Go ahead and move this out of the way here. So, like that. This is pretty old. I did this like maybe 5, 6 years ago. So the background here is just a wash. So all I did was like the whites. There's no paint here. It's just the white of the paper, and then this
Hmm.
back here is just a wash. But if zoomed out, it looks like clouds. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So this here. 1 second. Let me set you down real quick.
So once again, guys, we are presenting, and we have the man, the myth, the legend, Sheldon Art. Make sure you guys are following him here on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you guys check him out.
This is my Clint Eastwood that I did. This is with watercolor and acrylic. So when the watercolor was still wet, I added the acrylic over top, and it
Mm.
was able to blend really well. And so I just kind of went with the design a little bit more. So
Yeah, that's dope, man. It's very, very rich in color there.
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
One more. I'm sorry. One more.
Nah, man, nothing to be sorry about. We're all feeling lucky. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And this one's actually my favorite watercolor that I did. Hold on. Oh, this thing's heavy. All right. Oh, okay. So this here is watercolor as well. It's actually watercolor on butcher paper. So if you'll notice, all of these are rips. They're all like ripped sections. But when put together, it kind of makes a really cool landscape. It's hard to see the whole thing.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's a nice technique, dude. I'm digging that.
Thank you.
I
But yeah,
like
this
that.
down here is just like a wash. So I put a whole bunch of water down here, let it sit for a little bit, and then I added the pigment, and then I just took a dry brush and scraped the side, and it gave you that those little edges there, crisp little edges. So,
Heck yeah.
but
Some of what about some of your inspirations, Bobby? Either just in general, either professional or non-professional. Uh,
inspirations,
yeah, man.
like just like artists and stuff.
Artists, yeah. Who inspires you?
I want to say honestly, within recent months, I would have to give my hat to Dominic Glover and Wade, uh, Art of Wade King over there. Um,
Hmm.
they do fantastic, amazing work, and honestly, within the last few months, that's who I first started looking at, and then honestly, like you said, Notorious Pez, his name's Omar. He does amazing work. Um, Ivan or Yvonne, I'm sorry. Uh, Skindova. Oh, I can't remember his last name. But he goes by the Art of Yvonne. I can't remember. Wade, if you're in the chat, put his name in there because I think I saw him come in. I can't remember. Oh man, Skindovo, I think is his last name. I can't remember his Instagram for the life of me.
Yeah,
It's like
let's
his
see.
name again,
Uh,
um, but yeah, literally all of those guys within the past few months here have truly been inspiring me. Growing up, I want to say honestly, it's been Todd McFarlane. He was a fantastic role model for me just because it's like he's basically like, screw the system. I'm going to do what I want. And then he did it, and he's like a multimillionaire now.
for sure.
But but no, like not only that, but his approach to art was fantastic. Basically, I don't know if you saw the documentary about him.
Did I? Maybe
Oh
like
man,
2 or 3 times, dude.
oh man, dude, it's so. Oh my god, like it gets me pumped,
Yeah.
and I want to
Oh,
draw every time I watch it.
yep. Yep. Same here. And I think just coming up. I mean, I'm 35. I was born in '85, so
Okay,
definitely the '90s and when this whole image thing was going on and happening. I
absolutely,
was still a young lad, but I kind of had like my foot through the door already. And
yeah.
yeah, definitely one of my favorite artists growing up. The whole image. Um, I've Alex Ross is a big inspiration to me as well.
Oh,
I love
Alex
his
Ross, yes, I
dude.
was just gonna say him.
His wash paintings are just amazing, dude.
Oh my god, yeah, they're incredible. And actually, he just joined. What was his name? Let's see. Yep, art by Yvonne Sandoval. Yes, that
Shout
is him
out
right there. He
art by
is
Ivan
doing.
Sandoval.
Yes, listen. He is doing right now a Dragon Ball Z series. Right now, he's doing the Saiyan saga, and he just finished up Goku, Krillin, Piccolo, and I think Raditz. He just finished up Raditz. Um, so honestly, it's dude, his stuff is beautiful. It is amazing.
And definitely go check him out, guys. Definitely will check him out as well, and give some of these artists some follow. And definitely,
Yeah,
it's always good to see great artists here on Instagram, man.
yeah, they're fantastic, and I'm sure that they would love to do interviews with you. So definitely message them. They're fantastic people.
Definitely, my door is always open. If you guys are willing to, I am willing and able. So we'll definitely set something up in the near future.
Awesome.
And another thing that I see a lot of artists in the community, man, especially some that I introduce, or talk to, is just challenging ourselves. It's like how does Bobby challenge himself as when it comes to art?
Oh man, how do I challenge myself? I always go into the next drawing that I do with the fact of, you know what, I can do better.
Sweet.
I never go like, I started with, for instance, these Power Rangers ones. I started with Green Ranger. So let me get that one out real quick. So I started with this one, and I was like, man, I'm really enjoying myself. I really like what I'm doing here. You know what? I can do better. All right, I really like what I'm doing here. I think it's awesome, but you know what? I can do better. and I just kept going and I kept pursuing and getting better and better. And I mean, honestly, I feel like each one of these, you can see like the detail, the line work is getting just a little bit crisper, or the
Yes.
highlights are getting a little bit better looking. So it's just I keep pursuing and I keep perfecting. So for instance, just to give you an idea, I have prints of my Spidey series here right next to me. This is the first one that I did of my series. Um, so let me see here. This
There you go.
one right here, yeah, right here. This Mary Jane one was actually the one that started it all. I'm like, you know what? I should do a Spider-Man series. And so I got this one done, and I was super happy with it. And again, I was like, you know what? I think I can do better. So I started with this one. And I put in all the detail inside of the eyes here. I put in all the detail of the blood, or like just like the tattered look of his suit. And that was my first one. And as soon as I got to my last one, I'm like, wow, look at the jump. And this is my last one that I did of the series. And I'm just like, to me personally, I was blown away with like the amount of detail that I was able to get in just the face itself. Like if I zoom in close enough, and I think, let me get my iPad real quick. I went so far as to add um, veins into the eyes, even though I know I wouldn't probably see them when I printed them off.
The
I added
details,
them
man.
in. Exactly. So this is mine right here. So if I zoom in,
Oh,
like,
there they are. Holy cow.
so I mean, I even though I know I wouldn't probably see them, I still add them in because I constantly am trying to be like, you know what, maybe I can do better. Um, and Wade was even saying, you know what, you should probably add some texture the into the cloak. And I'm like, you know what, you're right, I probably should. And so I did, and it's just it added so much more character to it, and it even separated out the skin from the suit. So um, shout out to him for that example there. But yeah, it's been a wild ride, and I do that's what I do every single time. I'm like, you know what, this is good. I like it. I really really do. But you know what? I think I could do better, and that's my approach to everything that I'm working on.
Awesome. Great approach, man. And just just to let you guys know and everybody else, we're down to like the last 8 minutes of the show. If you have any questions, make sure you guys write it in that little question mark card thing at the bottom. That way we
Absolutely.
could share it with the show. And we actually have some questions. Here we go.
Oh, awesome,
So
awesome.
I think we kind of answered this one. Abe Duenya Art, shout out, says, who does he like to follow and learn from on IG or YouTube? So
Oh
I,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so the, shout out to Dominic Glover, Notorious Pez, Art by Ivan Sandoval, Art of Wade King. I think was some of your answers for that one.
Yes.
Let's see what else we got in the works. We got Call Me Dreads. He says, where are you based out of?
I am based out of Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. So
Yes.
East Coast, there you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Seven is Life. Shout out to him. He also has he also does this. So if you guys are looking for other venues to go on, definitely hit him up. He says, "What are some of the tips to help artists improve?" Great
Oh wow.
question.
That is a great question. All right. So my suggestion, honestly, is to have patience. Um, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, what material do I need to get better, or what, what uh, material? Like they always go back to the medium. They always go back to
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, what do you use? Do you use Prismacolor? I've seen work done with crayons that are fantastic pieces that the artist may have just like melted the crayon a little bit to get that texture out of it so that they can get a nice smooth layer of the crayon down. Like I've seen amazing art with Crayola colored pencils to just like, I mean, so it's not a matter of um, the material that you're using. To an extent it is, but I want to say honestly 80% of it is patience. If you have patience and are willing to work on yourself and not critique yourself to the extent where you feel as though you make yourself feel as though you're not good enough, then that's when you understand that you can grow. So that's my personal thing. It's not down to the materials, but it's down to the motivation, and it's down to um, basically the will to move on and take that criticism and just build off of it. So that's the biggest tip that I can give any artist or any budding artist is to take criticism with a grain of salt and
Yes,
don't
always.
don't feel as though you can't do it, because chances are you probably could.
True. And just to elaborate too, as far as when it comes down to like the tools that we use as artists, something that I always say is that the artist is always going to make the tool. The tool is
Hmm.
never going to make the artist. So
Exactly.
keep that in mind, artists. You know what I mean? Um,
Exactly.
Quick tip, not an actual tip, but some of my watercolor stuff, just about all of it is done with Crayola over the counter stuff that you'll find at Walgreens. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Absolutely.
awesome, Bobby. Great tips, man. And we're down to last 4 minutes. Do you have anything you want to shout out? Anything else you want to promote?
Um, well, right now I actually just got in all of my stickers for my Spidey series.
Oh,
So
dang.
they all came in within the last few days or so. I'm doing like a buy one get one free on them. So just message me if you guys are interested, and one of these can be yours.
Sweet, sweet. So just a
I,
DM, and man, do you have any prints of those Power Rangers yet?
uh, I do actually. I am
Sweet.
lucky enough to have a print shop not far away from me, so I can kind of be on demand with my prints. So right now I just have um, these ones here, but I do have the Black Ranger and Blue Ranger, but I'm not going to show those just yet.
Oh no.
I need to promote those on my page. So if you're interested
Oh,
in
yeah.
the Black Ranger or Blue Ranger, definitely check them out. But I got a Red Ranger print right here. I got pink. I got yellow, green. I plan to get White Ranger down within the next few weeks here. Probably closer to the next few days actually. Um, my Lord Draken right here will be a print if you want it. So
Exclusive.
just exclusive. Just this will be a limited edition one. So I'll be talking about this here shortly within the next week or so. Oh, that's my cat. All right. Anyways, so let me see here. Also, I'll give you another quick little sneak peek here for anybody interested. Do you know that they're coming out with a new Power Ranger movie?
I heard about it. Yes. Was it Hasbro that's taking it over?
I
Was it them?
think I'm not quite sure. I think it's what's called what Legend of the White Dragon.
Oh, I heard about that one. That's a
Yeah,
fan made film, though. No.
fan made. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
boom,
Oh, bam! There it is.
boom. So I just got
Wow.
finished with this bad boy here. So this is another exclusive for you.
Holy jeez, dude.
So just saying,
There
if
you
anybody's
go.
interested, you gotta let me know. Message me. Be happy to help you.
So that's it, man. You got some exclusives. You got a crazy interview with the man, the myth, Bobby Sheldone, the legend himself. Hey, we got about a minute and a half left. I just want to say thank you very much, dude, for this last minute thing.
Oh yeah, no
Um,
problem, man.
Super excited to speak with you, and definitely want to hit up Notorious Pez as well, coming in November.
Heck
So,
yeah.
dude, I want to go ahead and I hardly ever do this. I think you're the first time I'm ever going to do this, but because of the short notice, I definitely want a part two for this in
Oh
September.
yeah.
So you're
All right,
always welcome back, brother.
dude. Absolutely. I very much appreciate that. That's awesome.
Cool, yeah, man. I got a whole list of questions I didn't even get to, man, just because it's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Cool. So that's pretty much it. That wraps up the show. Thanks, I guess, once again, Mr. Sheldon Art,
Yeah.
known him as Bobby. Definitely find him here follow him here on Instagram. Follow him at Twitter under the same handle, Sheldon Art.
Yep.
Check his workout. If you guys like something, make sure you guys are buying it. Shout out to Matt Crew, Monsters Art Clan. That's the crew. Go check it out. Gutter Baby, she's part of the crew. Has great auctions right now for road dogs, helping out their fur babies. Check out Seven is Life and Dead and Laughing. And Sheldon Art, thanks again. Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you
Chatting
so
with
much.
Zim. We're out.